The Reverend Al Sharpton, host of MSNBC's Politics Nation and the president of the National Action Network. Rev, because you and I have been having this conversation the longest out of all of our friends assembled, let me start with you and let me show you something that the president said that I feel like was directed straight to the issues I know you've been working on now for years. This is the president on voting rights and how it sort of got pushed aside.
My greatest regret is I had these three major pieces of legislation that are going to change the circumstances for working class folks and African Americans as well, that I've been busting my neck trying to pass.
So not a iota of defensiveness there, a real acknowledgement, Rev, that this has been maybe given short shrift in terms of its focus, but a commitment to get on it. Do we have time?
Well, I think we have to make time. First of all, we have been pushing both National Action Network and other civil rights groups that have been meeting with him. I even went to his speech in Philadelphia where he came out strong about voting rights, but didn't mention the filibuster. We've been pushing, saying he's got to deal with the filibuster. It won't happen without that.
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here. And democracy is sacred, fragile, and not guaranteed. We as Americans have come to terms with that. This is not something that we grew up thinking about. What I have recently come to terms with is America is still a baby. Our country is just a few hundred years old. And sure, we have had a great ride, but we have never really been tested like we are right now. The wealth disparity has never been as vast as it is today. A segment of our population is enjoying lavish riches and lifestyles that will leave kings and queens envious. While on the other hand, we have people in this country that have to work 3 jobs just to cover the cost of food, housing, and the basic necessities. That is not right. This is not the vision that our founding fathers had for this country. Now, how does that tie into voting rights? You see, when the people unite, when we mobilize, when we strategize, when we align, we are an insurmountable force that no amount of wealth can stop. Our vote is our lethal weapon in the history of mankind. We have the power to choose our representation, to decide what laws we want to live by and how our collective tax revenue is collected and spent. As a society, we must all be focused on paving the way forward for our children, our grandchildren, and the generation to come after that. You see, that is what the previous generation did for us, and something we obviously forgot. The 15th Amendment and the 19th Amendment of the Constitution were fought for. People sacrificed everything, including some with their lives, for the right to vote, for the right of representation, for the right to have their voices heard. How quickly we forget the sacrifices others made for us. The civil rights movement in this country was not a party. It was not glamorous. It was not fun or easy. It was dark. It was horrific. And if we don't pass the John Lewis Voting Rights Act, it will be the most egregious, selfish act our generation could possibly do. Reverend Al Sharpton, along with my good friend Reverend Barber, understand this, and they have dedicated their lives towards this fight, and they're not backing down. And they're not about to sit on the sidelines while Republicans erase all the progress that they have made. As long as I breathe, I promise you they will not fight this battle alone. This is not politics as usual. This is not just another bill. This is a battle. This is a war for the soul of our country. We are either a democracy or we are Russia, China, North Korea, Saudi Arabia. You decide which country you want to live in. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.